Hello, Art by Artist channel, and thank you for inviting me to participate in this audio form of interview. My name is Anika Lomic, and I'm an applied sculptor by profession, but I work in many other medias, and I also teach in my studio. I started this in 2019 when I was third year of university, between the third and the fourth year actually. Out of the desire to just have my own studio and to create something on my own other than university projects. And so as time went on, the studio kind of became an entity of its own, and I call it the forever project because there's always something needing to be done about it. I lived and I'm raised in Belgrade all of my life in Serbia, and the moment when I realized that I want to continue my work here was the moment that I started the studio. So yeah, 5 years now, it's still going good. I started teaching art and drawing, painting and sculpting, and started working on many different workshops with my colleagues that are applied or include a form of applied arts. And yeah, I just have a tendency to really investigate and to experiment with a lot of things that I find applicable in my surroundings. I like exploring new materials, and I like combining them with different points of views and stuff like that. My work is probably, I could say it's kind of formed by concept of symbolics mostly, I think. I say for myself that I'm a bit art brut because some of my sculptures really have a tendency to look old, and I really admire archaeology and the stuff that we have found, especially in the Balkan area here, from the old cultures such as Roman Empire and Celtic ancestors. So I think this is what's really inspiring me always, this feeling of something being touched by time. And in a field of sculpture, I think there's a lot of it that sculpture can cover. So I think my works are probably formed by symbolics mostly, and some sort of ancient but newly made creatures that I like to call them. And I also like to study and investigate how nature works, and I tend to sometimes mimic the nature and or create this sort of history mock-up where I make something very convincing, such as stories and just, the background behind my work, so it looks like it's made by time, by nature actually, not by human. And also I like to include the idea of playing around as an adult into creating some analog and low technology games from stones and from wood. My biggest influences are probably land artists and graphic printers such as Andy Goldsworthy and also Escher. Also I would add Anish Kapoor and Damien Hirst. Also a very, very talented master builder, Rowena Cade. And definitely my parents and everything they've created by now, they're also artists. So yeah. I would say right now I'm focusing on leading people through my exhibition tomorrow, and actually finishing it up, wrapping it up by the end of the week, and also having some new projects and finishing my painting that I started. So actually a lot of things, but I'm mostly focusing on my own new ideas and on kind of cleaning the studio up, really, because it's starting to be winter here and I need some space for the woods. So yeah, and I'm also researching on a lot of topics and trying out just different things and different courses. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge, I think, doing all of the things, especially in my case. I feel like I'm a juggler of some kind because I always have a network of at least 5 or 10 stuff that I have to finish. I work on my own and I run a studio on my own, so it's basically a lot of sending emails and editing. I'm also editing my website right now, again. So yeah, it's a lot of the things that I'm doing here alone. And so yeah, just really networking with people, which is good. I mean, I'm an extrovert, but I think it's definitely something that you have to do if you're an artist, because people need to see you and need to get to know you and what you work on. So it can create a closer relationship between the audience. And also here it's a bit challenging because for sculptors, especially in Serbia, I think there's not a lot of opportunities, I guess. So I think I'm trying out to reach as much as people I can, and also to kind of raise awareness about sculpture in public and in private use and form. I think in terms of sculpture, there's definitely plenty of opportunities that you can work on. You can paint, you can draw, you can basically do whatever. But I think I stick with sculpture because I think this is what defines me the most. And I think it's also, for the present time, I see it's a very difficult thing to kind of stand out with. And I think other than that, running a studio, definitely having a safe and nice space that you can work in and really have all the art supplies and all of the technical things that you need. And also trying to be as much as freelance and as much as autonomous without, getting support from anyone. And really just trying to focus on the work that you do and how you produce it and how you exhibit it to the public and to the digital medias. I think for me, I find it still difficult, but I also I'm learning. I'm learning along the way. So I would say, yeah, it's definitely just a mix of all of the things, not just a challenge in the art term, but also in what you have to do to actually create it, because we need space, we need time, we need energy, and definitely we need inspiration. I think after 2 years of university, I think I was really blocked on the inspiration as well. And I think really I started opening up, I think 2.5 years ago. Kind of slowly, just like trusting my own process and just trusting what I will do, not thinking it dozens of times, and also trying to make a concept and then actually stick to my plan and actually try to find a lot of materials that I need and to gather them all and to really be mindful about how I spend it and how I'm gonna, exhibit it to the public. And definitely, I would say, for an advice, I would say, no, I think I haven't changed as much. I think I'm just as silly and as goofy as I can be, but also trying to actually fit in this adult world by now. But the best advice I would say is just be yourself and just stick to whatever plan you make up, and just go through and be more brave. And don't let distractions get in your way, and get what you want always, not what somebody else wants, but definitely have your own peace of mind always, and be a little bit selfish in that way as well. So yeah, definitely that. Also, yeah, I did try a lot of mediums and techniques that really inspired me and really kind of made progress into how I think about certain things. This year I've tried several things as applied techniques with my colleagues, and thanks for them. I tried cyanotype printing, and I printed some of my sculptures out in the sun. And I think I really, really love the technique, and I really love the process. It really gives a beautiful image. And I also tried the natural ink, such as oak inks and plum inks as well, and we made an avocado one too. So we tried like drawing on it with it and painting the textile as well. I like to also incorporate different materials in some of my sculptures and create composite materials, such as, I don't know, mixing plaster and wood, and also mixing stones and wood, mixing natural and synthetic ones as well. Also creating a lot of paper mache recently. I really like it. I make it with cardboard and glue, and I really like the technique. And I usually, after the paper mache gets hard, when the model gets hard, when it's dry, I tried a few times of making a interesting patina with using real copper pigment, very fine copper pigment, and then artificially creating an oxidation with acid and with baking soda. So it creates a very interesting metal-like patina. And I really like creating these patinas on my new sculptures that resemble archaeology objects found. And also I like to create patina effects on paintings sometimes as well. So yeah. About music, well, I'm a big music fan. My studio has like 4 big wooden speakers right now, and an old amplifier. And I also like to sing, and I sometimes sing karaoke by myself. So yeah, I really enjoy pop music, and I just sometimes play the radio. I have a few radios that I like. One is FIP, the French one, and the other one is NTS. I'm not sure whether it's Canadians or Americans or maybe even the British, I don't know. So yeah, I like just listening to something that's a bit experimental sometimes, or a bit groovy, or pop, depending on my mood. Really, I listen to classical music often as well, just to help me focus when I really have a deadline or something I need to finish, because I think I struggle with being focused. So yeah, but really depends on the mood. Sometimes I even work in silence, but since I have music from the day one of the studio, it's the first thing that I do. I play some music. I come here and I play some music, and I just think it's the best way. I think it really helps me kind of think in different aspects, and it really helps me, I don't know, still continue being in the mood. I think people have told me that my works resemble something also archaeological, or they found some great references to some sci-fi movies sometimes, and also something from a reference, like from a nature, like an animal or something. I did create and sculpted a lot of animals, such as frogs and cats and stuff. But I think recently, well, actually last week, I've had the exhibition opening, and so my newest sculpture, I called it the water worm, or when you play with words, it can be warm water. So the wood itself really still has resin from inside that really smells holy. And after I finished the sculpture, and after I finished with coloring and carving and everything, there's one part just a little bit above the face, let's say the face part, that kind of stained into darker stain through colors, and so, well, through paint. And so I started smelling it, and it just smells amazing. And so last week, when I was leading the people on my exhibition opening, we were all smelling it, and it was just amazing. I think it's a good, always it's a good reaction when people have interaction with it. I don't know. I would say that. And I hope that I can help people kind of think through some modern and ancient topics and maybe sublime them both into one. And also, I think my works can kind of help you slow down in some way. I think I work a lot under pressure sometimes in the city, and I tend to create something for myself first and for others that can kind of put us in a different mindset, a different zone than just the hectic, busy life in the city. And I think people really, I hope, that people can take a bit of peace from my work. I think this is what art is for, and also, well, hopefully some inspiration and some positive vibes and thinking. So yeah. Thank you again, Stan, so much for inviting me to participate in this. And I've had quite a few hours now of trying to make this audio. I was really nervous on how I'm going to answer the questions because I really had to think again. I don't formally think about these things. But yeah, greetings from Belgrade, and hope to talk to you and see you soon. Bye.